All right, so 1.1, day 2, is going to be absolute value equation. So remember that absolute value is the distance something is from 0 on a number line, so it's always positive. Absolute value equations are when you have an equation that has an absolute value. And then to solve them, you're going to have to make two problems. So if the absolute value of x is equal to 3, that means x could have been 3 or x could have been negative 3, because on a number line, 3 and negative 3 are both 3 units away from 0. All right, so they're going to start off with like super simple in Math Excel. You just have to be able to tell me that something like this is equal to 10 and negative 10. You also have to understand that absolute value has to be positive, so this is no solution. There is no number whose distance from 0 is negative 10. We can't travel negative amounts of space. All right, so then problems like number 3, we have to account for the fact that whatever 2x plus 5, did I mean for that to be negative? Sorry, I changed up my slide a little bit before I made this video, and I don't think I intended for that to be a negative 11. Let's make that a positive 11. If it was negative 11, it'd be no solution. You could stop, but that was not my intent, I don't think. All right, so we're going to make it 11, and then we can say 2x plus 5 is equal to negative 11. Those are the options. What's inside the absolute value could have been negative, and then when I did absolute value, I got positive 11. That's why I have to write that one. All right, so then we're going to subtract 5 and divide by 2. And we get x is 3. That's one answer. Here we subtract 5. Divide by 2. And negative 8 is the other answer. So generally with absolute value, you're going to get two answers. There are occasions when that is not the case, but generally it is. All right, so number 4, when absolute value is not all that's there, you have to get it by itself before you can do anything else. So we're going to add 20. Then we're going to divide 4. And then we're going to make two problems. So 1 minus 2x is equal to 5. Or 1 minus 2x was negative 5, and then I absolute valued it and got positive 5. So then subtract 1 from both sides and divide by negative 2. We get negative 2. Here, if we subtract 1 and divide by negative 2, we get 3. So negative 2 and 3. All right, so for number 5, we're going to subtract 7. Get negative 4. And then this negative comes down, and it's like a understood negative 1. So we can divide by negative 1. And then we can make two problems out of it. So there's no like undo for absolute value. For absolute value, what we do to get rid of the bars is make two problems, account for both options. All right, so if we add 4, divide by 3, we get 8/3. Here, if we add 4 and divide by 3, we get 0. All right, so here, divide by 5, because we need absolute value by itself. All right, so in this one, when we go to split, we have our absolute value equal to 0. Well, there is no positive negative version of 0, so you just ignore the absolute value, solve the problem, and you get the 1 answer. So add the 9, divide by the 6, and then you can reduce 9/6 to 3/2, and you're done. All right, so pause, try these, and then check to see how you did. All right, so let's see. We're going to subtract this 3 because it's not being multiplied by anything. It's just hanging out there. Then we're going to divide by -2. And then you're thinking, oh man, she's making me work a problem with the fraction, but she's really not because absolute value cannot equal a negative. So you can stop here and say there is no solution. All right, number 8, we're going to divide -3. Then make our 2 problems. And then to solve, we subtract 1 on both sides, divide by 2 on both sides, we get x is 1/2. Subtract 1 on both sides, divide 2 on both sides, we get -3/2. All right. I believe that's all for absolute value. Yep. All right, so you should have some test corrections coming up, so make sure you're looking over those and are ready for those tomorrow.